Compensation is due for this particular thing. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a weekend based video, topic video. As a lot of you know, we'd like to do these little kind of like topic videos. There could be some kind of like sentiment or thing that it's important to engage you, the community. We normally do something in the community tab, so make sure that you check out the community tab on the channel from day to day, maybe once a week. We do quizzes on there, we do video setups, and in particular this particular video, I said in particular twice, in particular, we have got, I'm on repeat, repeat, no, there's nothing wrong with it, there's no glitch in the matrix, I just repeated the same word twice. Any case, look, compensation for Act 6 restrictions nerf. So back several days ago, I asked you the question about this. So between the point of say 2016, 2022, do you feel you should have had some sort of compensation, especially because based on the restrictions which Kabam had removed, it did seem like this was a bit of a, frustration. I think more so frustration like doing the content. So for me personally, like back when I initially recorded my kind of reaction to this it wasn't so much of a big deal for me. I think it's mainly because, well, the years have gone on and I don't spend in the game anymore. There's a lot of things that have changed positively, and mainly because I've tried to, since stuff that's happened to me personally in the last 2 years, I've tried not to be as bitter or frustrated about anything or annoyed about anything, because it's not healthy for me. But in any case, that's not really kind of the right way to look at it. But you should be able to look at this with your own thoughts and your own feelings towards it. And we'll have a look at that, how you're feeling about this here. So back at the start of the month, Kabam said, "We are happy to announce the champ rarity restrictions have been removed from Act 6 and Act 7 content. The intentionality behind this is to allow Ascension to feel more impactful in current state of the game. Thus, if you want to ascend your favourites 4-star champion and roster them to help you through the difficult content, do it." Look, back in the day, having a very kind of kick-ass synergy would have been able to massively help you out. More so with Act 6 than Act 7, but I think you get the idea with that. It may be a case like you didn't have an option of a champion that was at a 4-star rarity. You had an option at 4-star rarity to counter a path, but it wasn't available because it's either, you can't use your 4-star Quake against stuff. Those kind of things like that. You weren't able to use your 4-star whatever was available. Nowadays, there's a lot more champions that cover a broad plethora of counters. So, yeah, it's definitely kind of like a different landscape nowadays. Interestingly, on this particular subject, 4,500 people voted. Massive. And 72% went with yes, compensation for this. 28% went, nah, I'm good, don't care anymore. I'm not saying like that. That's like how you should feel. That's in some ways that's how I kind of feel about this one. It's mainly because, as I said, like years go on. I was a bit younger back in 2016. What's that, like 7 years ago? Like, I think temperaments change, especially as you get older. When it comes to looking at the world. And I think it changes as well when you have kids or whatever. Back then I wasn't married, and I'm not saying that changes you. It's just a case of like, I'm not saying it mellowed me out. I'm kind of like, I'm mellow, but then, stuff that's happened to me in 2021 changes your kind of like your look on what makes you angry. Look, things make you angry in any case, but just trying not to be. I'm trying not to be a bitter bastard. But yeah, I want to see like what you guys say about this, because it's important, because it's part of a community. There'll never be a day where I don't want compensation. Hell, I deserve compensation for even playing this game. Very weird after the not weird at this, but weird obviously with the freebies that Kabam gave out for not playing the game. It's a catch-up mechanic for newer players. This helps vets by having a faster pipeline of new players, growing accounts to help with the vet alliance recruiting in the... I do agree with that. Like, obviously, I don't know if it necessarily applies to this situation, but the process of adding this in does help out, because we need players to catch up quicker with it. You have to catch up so much quicker on this. At this point in MCOC's life cycle, they can either do nothing with older content and new players will walk away, or they can make it easier and quicker so they have a chance to at least somewhat catch up with accounts that have been around a while. If they don't get new blood in the game, it's disappear quickly. And that's absolutely correct. I do massively agree with that, because it is a case of we need more people playing the game. Look, if you like the game, you like it as a non-spending player or as a spending player, like, game, if you want this game to continue on, it's an amazing that's nearly 10 years next year that the game is going to be running. We're celebrating 9th year this year of the game running. We need it. If you want it to continue, keep supporting it, encourage players to come on board. I'm still in Act 6, but I believe people who cleared it before the restrictions lift should get some sort of compensation for completing it, less champion options, especially back. That's a very good point. This is the other side of things, isn't it? That back in the day, you had a very, very slim amount of champion options to take on specific content, which is one of the reasons that players were looking to get access to the 4-star versions. After doing something like Act 5, you're like, I really would have liked to use more. I feel very unfair with the fact that people are able to kind of access this. So as we said, two sides to every story with this, and it's not always your opinion, and it's all about what other players are. I was in Act 6 when the restrictions were removed, but I had the Grandmaster at 20% at the time, and I think a lot of stuff would have been easier, and I would have spent a lot less units if there weren't any restrictions. Interesting. And one more before we're going to switch down the list. Since it's been a long time for me, I don't feel so strongly for compensation. I think this is where I'm going to align with. But when I remember, especially reaching Cavalier, how hard it was a cause. I couldn't bring my already built 4-star champs. I can't activate Synergy because I don't have the champs at higher rarity. I feel infuriated. So yeah, that sense, I would definitely ask for compensation, especially if they are someone who was recently finished Act 6. Very interesting. From Carnage right there. Let's go down to some right towards the bottom. Yes, it cost me too many units. A game is trash. All they've done is run it into the dirt. It's designed to eat your units, not playing anymore. They did crap on purpose, and now they've called out on their too late to make up for the misery. Okay, well, entitled to your own opinion. I mean, look, I just went out to farm, which you can't see. Load. It's probably not going to load, but I farmed what we up to 14,593 units at the point of recording this video. So yeah, look, there's possibilities to get units out there. Don't feel sad about that. I need compensation for wasting my precious time in game. No family time. This is such a stupid. What do you mean, such a stupid poll? I'll give you. No, I'm not going to give you a heart. That's rudeness right there. That's so much levels of disrespect. I need compensation for wasting my precious timing game. You sound like your life is very sad. I feel sorry for you. I still haven't done exploration. Okay. Give you a heart. Where's my compensation for the progression just for AI? Holding specials, crashing 7 stars, being in basic arena, lower progressions, haven't chance. If I bought a car 4 years ago, I can't go to the dealer, get a free upgrade to date as compensation. Okay, fair play. Let's see. Oh, super gaming. That's super gaming right there. Now I'm good. Those restrictions sucked when they first came out, but now you can start a new account and have Act 6 done in a couple of weeks. Okay, create a new account. Interesting. I'm so tired of people asking for compensation for content they cleared years ago. Act 6.1 was released March 13th, 2019, over 4 years ago. At this point, I didn't know. Act 6, right? Okay, sorry. I thought it was. It feels like a long time. I was released. The game had been out almost 4.5 years, and at the time 6.1 was released. Most everyone had very robust rosters of 4-star champs, and they had been around since the beginning of the game. And it goes on. It goes on extensively. That's a lot of words right there. We need players to join and to be able to speed clear these early acts and then go get their rosters up to snuff. That I do agree with. To complete with players who have been at it for almost 9 years. If not, the game will wither and die. Again, another fair point that we've discussed in this so far. Already there are problems more people having retiring than signing up new, and even wager that most of the new accounts that are signed up are from veteran players looking for new challenges. And even Kabam offered any compensation for 4-year-old account. Any compensation offered wouldn't make up. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Any compensation offered wouldn't make a hill of beans of difference, because that's another point, isn't it? I'm going to give that a heart, right? Because it's a very fair point. There's a lot of words in that, and I'm not going to read them all, but that's a very good point to lean on. Like, if Kabam compensate, they won't be able to bring it up to the current, what you'd expect. Players, and you would expect something like, well, 7 stars, 6-star relics, some of the chase materials, tier 6 class catalysts, fragment crystals, and units, revives and health potions, energy refills. Maybe the energy refills, and I don't think they do units. Revives and energy refills they probably do, but they wouldn't compensate where you'd feel that you would get it. And let's face it, this is Kabam. If they did compensate, you would not get what you would expect. It would be definitely downgraded on what you think. We don't need compensation, but if it's free, I got you. Why would I need compensation for having to play well and not rely on synergies and node counters? I believe compensation should be for true inconvenience, not a dislike of the game mechanic. Interesting. Do you see that point? So yeah, there's so much to this. It's not, as I said, it's not black and white. A lot of the time when you look at the world and you look at things like this particular situation, it's never clear cut. There's always going to be people with difference of opinions on stuff, and that's absolutely fine. I think it's really good, because then ideas come up, or kind of like things that trigger up, like, okay, like we all know it, Kabam, if you asked for compensation and you looked at the state of Act 6 and kind of went, this is this particular content is like, I can't show you because my thing's not working. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here because we've just gone on a little bit more. Thanks to everybody that got involved with the community tab post. It's great because what we do is we pitch an idea, we get some feedback with a poll, we look at your particular comments, and we get a really decent video put together with thought, perspective, and stuff like that. So I think there's some amazing points that have been raised in here. Would it be nice to see compensation? Of course it would be. Do we think we're going to get it? No, I doubt it. And if we did, it would never be up to the standard that you would expect from the current meta. It would be 6-star shards, which were prevalent back in the day. Tier 5 basics at that particular time were prevalent, and other items as well. And that's basically how Kabam would treat that. That's why you don't see it, and that's why we've seen things like the Carinas Trials come into shape and form of being an interesting piece of content. If Kabam rolled something like that back to there, or changed the Carinas challenges, maybe there would be something that would kind of welcome players with interest to kind of go back and kind of reminisce or whatever. But I don't think you're going to get any compensation anytime soon. But it was an interesting video. Hope you enjoyed it. And any more further thoughts, put it in the comment section down below. Check out some other content located on screen. And I'll see you in the next one. Much love and goodbye.